Welcome to Arches National Park. We're just outside of Moab, Utah, and I'm surrounded by the world's largest concentration of naturally occurring rock arches. Some of these babies are monsters. And lucky for us, they are not camera shy. The American Southwest is home to some truly amazing geological formations, and Arches National Park is among the most spectacular of them all. Formed by millions of years of erosion, these colossal structures are sure to make an everlasting impression on your travel experience, not to mention a great addition to the landscape photography portfolio. Hi there, and welcome to Worth a Thousand Words, the photography show which brings you the stories behind the images. Today we visit one of America's most unusual national parks. Arches is a little off the beaten path, and when it comes to photography, it's actually one of the more difficult locations to work. But that's just the thing about unforgettable destinations. They are totally worth the effort. Alright, in all honesty, Arches isn't really all that difficult to photograph. Most of the locations throughout the park are actually quite easy to get to, and here is where the challenge begins. Like many national parks, the more popular landmarks can become filled with the landscape photographer's worst enemy, crowds of tourists. Thus, getting some of these essential locations all to yourself means operating early in the morning. Since most landscape photographers are no strangers to getting up before dawn, this should not present too much of a problem. Early to rise, early to shoot. That way you can reserve midday for other travel essentials, like burritos and beers and hot tubs. The windows arches are a great place to get started. They're easy to get to, and they provide a spectacular representation of what this landscape has to offer. When it comes to this part of the park, I recommend thinking of a clever way to provide a sense of scale to your image. These arches are absolutely colossal, and it pays to help your audience understand just how epic this landscape really is. Rainy days can be a great time to gain a new perspective on the park. This is a desert landscape which spends the majority of the year drenched in sunlight. Whenever there is moisture in the air, it definitely pays to brave the elements and watch as the weather transforms these magnificent arches into something completely different from the typical sunny day. Furthermore, rainstorms often lead to breaking clouds, which can certainly add a lot of drama to the skies and help give a whole new life to your images. Bad weather also has a knack for chasing away crowds of tourists. So pack your umbrella and you might just get some of the more popular landmarks all to yourself. Alright, here we are. You've made it halfway through. Thank you for not falling asleep. Do me a solid and hit that subscribe button. It only takes a second. I know you can do it. Alright, cool. Back to the show. Arches National Park is just one facet of a much bigger picture in the American Southwest. Just a few miles down the road, Canyonlands National Park offers up its own series of epic vistas and unforgettable scenery. Early morning is yet again the essential time to explore these locations. Utah is also home to a wide array of ancient architecture. The Anasazi are a Native American tribe who disappeared from the historical record over 800 years ago. no one really knows what happened to them, and all we have left are the spectacular structures they left behind. There aren't very many places in the world where one can experience such a fascinating harmony between nature and architecture. These ruins serve as a reminder of the many mysterious secrets which make the red deserts of the Southwest such a cultural treasure of the great American landscape. Our little blue planet is home to all kinds of amazing destinations, and I've had the privilege to produce photographic artwork for homes and businesses all across the nation. If you are interested in acquiring your own little piece of Mother Nature, every image which appears in this episode can be purchased from my website. So be sure to check out the link in the show notes below, and I look forward to providing your next fine art photograph. Ancient civilizations and giant stone arches? Come on, it doesn't get much better than that if you ask me. I certainly hope you've enjoyed our little journey. Thank you so much for joining us, and always remember, the camera will take you places you never imagined. All right, for real, the truth about Arches, it's an awesome place. It's completely amazing, but definitely get there early, because if not, you're gonna have a billion people running right through your frame, and it's really irritating. So do yourself a favor, set the clock in the morning, get up, do your job, go home, drink a beer, eat a burrito. That's it. Cut. Arches is a little off the beaten path, and that's where it remains. They tend to be very unforgettable. Oh my God, I almost had that first time perfect. The photography show, I totally spit on the table just now. That's okay, that's never gonna happen. Perfection is completely out the window the minute we turn that camera on. Take 2, which will soon turn into take 437. You can count on it. Ooh, pots and pans are shifting. We got ghosts in the house, watch out. What are you gonna do, right? I thought we were gonna get it that time, not so much. I mean, face it though, everybody has the same right to the national park, so you can't really get mad about there being a lot of crowds. Just get there early. That's when all the sweet light happens anyway. You don't really need to shoot in the middle of the day. That's what these are for. Cut, I think that was a good one. Totally worth the effort.